Greetings, Into the Web enthusiasts! Today we're delving into the trailer for the upcoming Sony Spider-Verse film Madame Web, slated for a probable release in February 2024.
What do you want from me? Why do you care for me? Why do you know?
The lead role is played by Dakota Johnson, portraying Cassandra Webb, a Manhattan-based paramedic endowed with clairvoyant abilities. This character draws inspiration from the Marvel psychic introduced by Joan, the wife of Stan Lee in the 90s Spider-Man animated series. Joining the cast are Sydney Sweeney as Julia Carpenter's Spider-Woman, Celeste O'Connor as Mattie Franklin's Spider-Woman, Isabella Merced as AR Spider-Girl Anya Corazon, and Tahar Rahim as an iteration of Spider-Man known as Ezekiel Sims. We also have Adam Scott assuming a mysterious role that may potentially be Uncle Ben. Now let's dissect the trailer scene by scene, exploring potential connections to Venom and Kraven, and unraveling the storyline before Dakota Johnson's narration lulls us into a state of slumber.
Are you ready, kids?
Let's kick things off.
Hey, come on.
All right, Cassie positions herself before the iconic 4-star diner. This diner, initially mentioned in The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 30 back in 2001, marked the introduction of the Ezekiel Sims character. In the comic realm, this diner serves as a gathering spot for Peter Parker and his circle of friends, even featuring a functional payphone at its forefront, a nostalgic detail pointing to the story's setting in the past, a time when such phones were commonplace. Outside the diner, the scene unfolds with Julia and Mattie playfully dancing atop a table, engaging with some boys from the Midtown High basketball team. The presence of Midtown High, a school attended by Peter Parker, distinctly places this narrative in an alternate universe separate from the MCU, designated as Earth 616 by Marvel Studios. While Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, also a Sony production, delved into various universes, the description of this movie begins with the intriguing phrase, "Meanwhile, in another universe," akin to the post-credit scene in Into the Spider-Verse when transitioning to Miguel O'Hara's universe. This unique phrasing signifies that the storyline unfolds in a realm distinct from any Spider-Verse encountered previously, not aligning with the universes of Sam Raimi's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Mark Webb's Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the animated Spider-Verse, and likely not even in sync with Venom's, Kraven's, or Morbius's universes.
Hey, come on. Get your stuff.
It appears as though these three young women have coordinated their outfits to match the color schemes of their superhero attire. Mattie sports a light blue ensemble adorned with red stripes. Anna opts for a yellow top, and Julia dons a black and white combination. Notably, Anya's shirt humorously declares, "I consume math for breakfast," a sentiment that wouldn't be out of place for Tom Holland's Peter Parker.
Get your stuff. Let's go.
However, the atmosphere takes a dark turn when Ezekiel Sims, in his Spider-Man guise, makes a foreboding entrance into the diner. While I'll delve into the intricate details of his costume later, there's a sense of ambiguity surrounding his intentions. Cassie reacts impulsively, smashing a bottle on his head, but he swiftly retaliates, throwing her to the ground, executing a Spider-Man-esque move as the room seems to invert from his perspective. In the initial frames, Julia lies incapacitated on the ground, suggesting that she may have been the first target, or perhaps even a casualty. Ezekiel proceeds to choke Maddie and chokeslam Anna, skillfully disarming Cassie of her weapon and using it against her, causing a reset that brings us back outside the diner. The repetition of this scenario evokes memories of the familiar "let's do this one more time" theme seen in the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse films.
All right, let's do this one last time.
Let's do things differently this time.
All right, people, let's do this one last time.
So who exactly is everyone, and what's the deal here? Well, Madame Webb, also known as Cassandra Webb, first showed up in The Amazing Spider-Man number 210 back in 1980. She hailed from Salem, Oregon, a disabled clairvoyant and precognitive mutant, making her living as a professional psychic. The Webb nickname stuck due to her unique medical condition, requiring her to be hooked up to a fancy chair with metallic tubes that looked like a spider web. Unlike the Spider-Bite crew, Madame Webb, like many of Peter Parker's foes, just has this interesting visual connection to spiders, as seen with Doc Ock and his 8 legs. But Madame Webb isn't just your run-of-the-mill Spider-Man character. She's got some serious ties to the Spider-Verse and serves as a cosmic force deeply connected to the web of life and destiny. You might remember her from Spider-Man the Animated Series in the 90s, where she was voiced by Joan Lee, Stan Lee's wife. Fast forward to the 2010s in Ultimate Spider-Man, and we see another take on Madame Webb, this time with Julia Carpenter taking on the mantle. Oh, and in the animated Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse film, Miles' guidance counselor, voiced by Rachel Dratch, goes by the name C. Webber, maybe a nod to this character. Julia Carpenter, known as Spider-Woman, made her initial appearance in 1984 as part of a Secret Wars miniseries. She got her powers from a combination of spider venom and plant extracts, eventually leading her to take on the role of Madame Webb. Over time, she featured in various crossover storylines and made a cameo within the expansive Spider-Verse series. Maddie Franklin's Spider-Woman first appeared in 1998 and became Spider-Woman in 1999. Notably, she is the niece of J. Jonah Jameson, and her impactful storylines include arcs in the Jessica Jones Alias series and the Clone Conspiracy alongside Ben Reilly. Enter Anna Khan, also known as Spider-Girl, who later adopts the moniker Arna and boasts a particularly striking cameo in the Spider-Verse. Her introduction dates back to 2004, and she gained recognition as the central character in the 2017 Spider-Man animated series on Disney XD. On a different note, Ezekiel Sims emerged in Amazing Spider-Man number 30 from 2001 as an eccentric, barefooted individual who crosses paths with Peter Parker, sharing similar powers. It is revealed later that his powers stem from spider totems discovered while exploring jungle ruins. Ezekiel engages Peter in thought-provoking discussions about the origin of his powers, unveiling that it was not the spider's radioactivity, but rather a cosmic event linking all spider people into the web of life and destiny. This revelation identifies Peter Parker as chosen by a mysterious entity known as the Great Weaver. Ezekiel's mission is to thwart Morlun and the Inheritors, beings dedicated to hunting spider people across the multiverse with a focus on spider-related phenomena. So in this scenario, we find Cassandra, or Cassie, endowed with clairvoyance that enables her to glimpse into the future through vivid mental visions. It's akin to the way Doctor Strange anticipated forthcoming events in Infinity War. Yet, unlike him, Cassandra isn't engaged in actual time travel or slipping through time. Rather, she mentally enacts these premonitions. In a recently unveiled vignette, S.J. Clarkson, the film's director, shared insights. Despite Cassie Webb's ability to foresee the future, Clarkson remarked, "These visions are quite fragmented because she doesn't see anything clearly." Or it might be that Cassie's visions hold a multiversal truth, suggesting that the movie could delve deeper into the multiverse than initially anticipated. In this film, Cassie takes on the role of a paramedic in New York. According to Dakota Johnson in the promotional vignette, the events unfold before the character ends up in a wheelchair. This hints that by the film's end, we might witness a portrayal of the character more in line with her comic book and animated counterparts. Despite principal photography occurring in Boston, we catch glimpses of the New York Triborough Bridge. A classic suspense moment arises as a vehicle teeters on the brink of the bridge, echoing reminiscent scenarios in previous Spider-Man films. Remember, Spider-Man No Way Home had Peter saving the Dean of Admissions for MIT this way? And in the Amazing Spider-Man film in 2012, Andrew Garfield Peter Parker has to save a kid from the car hanging off the bridge when he was fighting the lizard. Adam Scott plays another paramedic, currently unnamed, and rumors circulate that he might be portraying Uncle Ben, consistent with the film's era marked by payphones. However, the shot of Manhattan includes towers built in the past decade, creating uncertainty. Emma Roberts is set to appear in an undisclosed role, with speculation pointing to her potentially playing Mary Parker, Uncle Ben's sister, and Peter Parker's mother. Sorry guys, that's all we have for today. To learn more about the upcoming Madame Web movie, make sure you've turned on all notifications and subscribed to Into the Web. Our Part 2 diagnosis is coming next week.